First of all, just what the transition has been going from, high school now being into the Baylor program for some time now, what that whole experience has been like for you.
It was challenging at times. Coming from high school, everything's like real structured. And the biggest thing is just freedom once you get to college, not having to go home, when your parents tell you. So little stuff like that. But on the football field, it's just learning. You have to relearn the game, learn the defenses, all the little stuff, all the little details to the game. So after I learned that, I've been good. This past off season has been good. I already know what to expect.
You come into an environment where there's a lot of competition, a lot of guys that were highly rated recruits. So did that kind of fuel you a little bit?
It's fun because every day you're working out with 4 or 5 star guys. Guys that are just talented to you. So every day you're getting pushed. So if you're not on your game, then they're gonna make sure you're at your game. And plus the coaches too, so everybody's pushing you, so it's fun.
It took you a little bit of time to see the field. I know you're kind of being patient and stuff like that. So what was the experience like when you took your first snaps at the end of the regular season?
It was fun. I was like a little kid. I was smiling, really wasn't nervous. I was ready to get on the field and just show everybody what I could do.
That first touchdown, what'd that feel like?
I actually ran the wrong play. I was so excited, I just caught the ball and ran. I was supposed to shuffle. But, getting into the end zone, scoring my first college touchdown, it was fun.
Moving ahead, you get thrown into probably the biggest stage possible, Big 12 championship game. What's kind of going through your head in that moment, and what was the adrenaline rush like to be in that situation?
I really wasn't nervous. I just went out there and played. In practice, they prepare us, so they pump crowd noise. They try to make it as hectic as possible so that when you get in the game, you're just playing. So I just went in there, read my assignments, and I just executed my job.
That first touchdown, is it just kind of like, whoa, this is actually just happening right now? We're playing OU, Big 12 championship, and this is happening.
Yeah, that was kind of shocking. I saw him run down the sideline. I didn't know if anybody had the angle on him. So I just saw him running, and I didn't know what to do, so I just put it to the sideline. So, I was like a little kid there.
Did you realize that, obviously not in the moment, you're in the game and whatnot, but did you realize kind of all the social media and stuff that was going on at that time and back here in San Antonio?
I didn't. I just thought it was a regular game, and then I got to the locker room after the interviews, and I checked my phone, and I couldn't even get on it. It was frozen. But seeing all the support, it's humbling. To have an impact in San Antonio like that.
You get into the Sugar Bowl, different environment, bowl game environment against one of the top defenses. What did you take from that experience?
It was kind of challenging in the Sugar Bowl. Playing against that type of D-line, SEC, it's a different conference. So it was a good experience, not just for me, but for everybody else, seeing what we just have to get better at.
What are you trying to improve on the most during this offseason?
I would say my feet, get my feet faster and lighter, and just reading defenses. You can never get enough of it. So just learning the game, little bits and pieces of it. So that's really what I'm focusing on this year.
So you guys obviously went through a coaching change this offseason. What's the biggest advice or the lesson that you learned from your time with Coach Rule?
Nothing's just good enough. If you do your job, you're supposed to do your job. That's what you're here to do. And if you're not doing your job, then you're supposed to do your job. It's just not being satisfied. Always trying to push yourself, find something every day just to push yourself and get better.
But was it a surprise that you guys were able to turn the program around in such a quick manner?
We kind of felt it. Every day we went out and worked out like we were national champions. So we already knew. We were in the mindset. It was just going out and executing it every game.
Moving ahead here, what kind of goes through your mind when you hear the news that Coach Aranda is going to be the guy now at Baylor?
First, I was happy for Coach Rule. Getting an opportunity to go back to the NFL. So, we were all happy for him. But with Coach Miranda coming in from LSU, just off the national championship, so he knows what it takes to get to that stage. And, we're rallied around him, and we're just looking forward to the season.
What has kind of caught your attention early on about Coach Aranda?
Just how calm he is. Coach Aranda is a lot more calmer than Coach Rule. His calmness, really, that's what I would say.
Yeah, still pretty demanding of you guys and what he expects of y'all?
Yes, sir.
You get a new offensive coordinator, Coach Fodor. He's been around different programs and led some pretty high-powered offenses in the past. So has that changed anything for you?
It's pretty much almost the same plays, just calling different names, different routes. But, you just got to go out there and just execute.
Charlie returns, Jerry returns also. What has the relationship been like in the quarterback room?
It's good. We have a good connection where I was going out, going to eat. and we're friends, but we're competitors, and it's good chemistry.
Is it kind of a situation where you're just always kind of prepared? Obviously, Charlie's gone through a couple of injuries.
Yeah, so I'm just going out every day preparing like I'm a starter, and when my number gets called, it gets called.
So we talked a little bit about your expectations for this upcoming season. What about the team?
Last year, we didn't finish the job. So this year, we got to come out and finish the job. We expect to win every game, just like how we did last year.
Do you feel like Baylor is becoming a little bit of a portal for some San Antonio kids to kind of get noticed?
I think so. I feel like San Antonio slept on. And so for colleges to actually see how much talent we have in San Antonio, it's just good exposure for the whole city.
We talked a little bit about the support you got after the Big 12 title game, but to have people here really kind of be proud of you and the accomplishments that you've gotten to at this point in your career.
Yeah, it's a blessing just to see how many lives I've touched. I'm walking through HEB, people stop me, so it's a blessing.
What do they tell you at HEB?
First they ask, do I play some type of sport, because of how tall I am, and then when I tell them who I am, they just shake my head and just tell me to keep it going.